been driving down this old dirt road, talking to the dark like it might talk back, wondering if anyone could find me here. Turns out he never lost my track. I was sitting on the front porch past midnight, holding a cup of coffee gone cold, worn out Bible in my mama's handwriting. Felt like a story nobody told. Small town lights were blinking in the distance, the kind of quiet that gets loud inside. I whispered, God, do you even see me? Didn't have the strength left not to cry. One more night of feeling like a stranger, one more prayer I couldn't finish right. I need you, I need you. Can you hear me in the dark tonight? He knows my name. He knows the way I break at 3 a.m. He knows my name. Every scar I tried to hide from everyone, he calls me his, he calls me his. Not a face lost in the crowd, he knows my name. And that's enough to say out loud. I've been carrying a shame I never named out loud. Thought my doubts would drive you far away. Left the church for a whole cold winter season. Told myself I'd gone too far to pray, but I found your words still open on my nightstand. Found you waiting at the same front porch light, like you sat there through the whole long absence, like you kept the coffee warm all night. One more lie that said I wasn't worth it. One more morning I couldn't face the mirror's eyes. I need you, I need you. You're the only truth that still feels right. He knows my name. He knows the way I break at 3 a.m. He knows my name. Every scar I tried to hide from everyone, he calls me his, he calls me his. Not a face lost in the crowd, he knows my name. And that's enough to say out loud. I thought invisible and forgotten. I thought the silence meant you turned away. I thought the storm was my whole story. I thought the dark was here to stay. But the sunrise doesn't ask permission, and grace don't need me to have it all together. You knew my name before my mama gave it. You know it long as there is a forever. He knows my name. He knows the way I break at 3 a.m. He knows my name. Every scar I tried to hide from everyone, he calls me his, he calls me his. Not a face lost in the crowd, he knows my name. And that's enough to say out loud. Standing in the sunrise on this dirt road now. Not invisible, not forgotten, he knows my name. He knows my name. I woke up with the weight already on me, like the sky forgot how to hold itself up. I didn't know if I could make it through today, but I'm learning that's enough. There's a coffee cup shaking in my hands, and a to-do list longer than my faith. I've been wearing this smile like armor, but it's cracking at the edges of my face. I'm tired of pretending I've got it all together, tired of acting like I never fall apart. Sometimes the bravest thing I do all morning is just a whisper, Jesus, here's my heart. One more day I can't do on my own. gone. You're strong when I don't feel strong. You're strong when I don't feel strong. I sat in my truck in the parking lot before I walked in, faced them all, put my forehead on the steering wheel and cried, asked you to catch me if I fall. There's a war inside I don't talk about, between the woman that I am and who I'm supposed to be. And you see every battle, every breaking point, and you still say that you're enough for me. One more fear that I can't fight alone, one more night I'm barely holding on. I need you to be strong when I don't feel strong, when I'm running on empty and the road's too long. When I don't feel strong, you carry what I can't. You've had me all along. You hold on, even when my grip is gone. You're strong when I don't feel strong. Yeah, you hold on. My weakness is where you belong. You're strong when I don't feel strong. You've been strong all along. I've been praying for an answer, listening hard but hearing nothing back. I didn't know if you were really listening, or if I was talking to the dark. I've been sitting in this waiting room for months now, watching sunrise paint the same old kitchen wall, asking questions that just echo back unanswered, wondering if you hear me pray at all. The worn out Bible's open on the table, but the pages feel like strangers to my heart. I'm looking for a burning bush or lightning, some kind of sign to tell me where you are. One more night of nothing but the quiet, one more prayer that disappears like smoke. I need you, even when you don't speak. You're right there in the silence, in the space between my questions and my faith. Right there in the silence, holding what I cannot see or explain. You're close, even when I can't hear your voice. You're right there in the silence, Thought your love would sound like thunder, that faith would feel like fire race inside. But I'm learning you in ordinary moments, in the peace that comes when I stop asking why. You're in the way the morning keeps on coming, in the way my heart keeps beating through the storm, in the friend who showed up with no words to offer, just presence like you've been here all along. One more day I'm waiting in the stillness, one more moment trusting what I don't know. But you're here in ways I'm just learning to see. You're right there in the silence, in the space between my questions and my faith. Right there in the silence, holding what I cannot see or explain. You're close, even when I can't hear your voice. You're right there in the silence. I wanted answers written in the sky, I wanted proof before I trust the light. I wanted every detail of the plan before I let you hold my hand. But faith is learning you in quiet ways, it's trusting you when nothing else explains. It's knowing you don't have to speak out loud to be the solid ground beneath me now. You're right there in the silence, in the space between my questions and my faith. Right there in the silence, holding what I cannot see or explain. You're close, even when I can't hear your voice. You're right there in the silence. Right there in the silence. Yeah, you're close, so close in the stillness. I can feel it now. You're right there in the silence. You've been here all along. Right there in the silence. I thought I had to clean up first, get my life in order, make it look right. I didn't know you'd step into the chaos and meet me in the middle of the fight. There's dishes in the sink from 3 days ago, laundry piled up like a mountain on my bed. My bank account's in red, my heart's in pieces, and I can barely get these kids fed. I've been telling myself I'll pray when I'm better, when I've got it all figured out and tied with a bow. But I'm drowning in the deep end of this story, and I don't think I can make it on my own. One more day I can't get it right, one more moment I'm losing the fight. I need you right here tonight in the middle of my mess. You don't wait for me to have it all together in the middle of my mess. You show up when I've got nothing left to offer. You're here in the chaos and the stress, in the middle of my mess, in the middle of my mess. I broke down in the Target parking lot today. show up when I've got nothing left to offer. You're here, in the chaos and the stress, in the middle of my mess, in the middle of my mess. Yeah, you're here, when I'm broken and undone, you say yes. In the middle of my mess, you love me. In the middle of my mess, right here in my mess, on at 4-5. When the world gets heavy and I don't know where to turn, when I'm out of answers and I'm running out of words, I thought I had to figure it all out on my own, until I learned there's a place I can always go. Got the call last Tuesday that changed everything. Doctor said the word I never wanted to hear. I sat there in the silence of my truck cab, watching the rain and fighting back the fear. I spent my whole life trying to be the strong one, the one who holds it all and never lets it show. But sometimes strong means knowing when to fall apart, and trusting there's a hand that won't let go. One more storm I can't outrun, one more battle I can't win alone. I need you, you're the only shelter I've ever known. You're the one I run to when the ground gives way beneath my feet, the one I run to when I need a love that won't retreat. My refuge, when I've got nowhere else to be. You're the one I run to, the one I run to. There's a worn out Bible on the passenger seat, pages marked with tears and desperate prayers. I've been driving down this old dirt road for hours, just talking to you like you're sitting there. And maybe that's exactly where you are, Lord, in the quiet places where I come undone, in the moments when I finally stop pretending and admit that I can't do this on my own. One more night I need your peace, one more moment on my knees. I need you, you're my constant, my relief. You're the one I run to when the ground gives way beneath my feet, the one I run to when I need a love that won't retreat. My refuge, when I've got nowhere else to be. You're the one I run to, the one I run to. I used to think that running meant I'm weak. I used to think I had to stand alone. I used to be afraid to need somebody. I used to think my strength was my own. But you're the place where broken finds its healing. You're the arms that catch me when I fall. You're the voice that says I don't have to carry every weight. You're strong enough for all. You're the one I run to when the ground gives way beneath my feet, the one I run to when Never have to face this life alone, the one I run to.
Too many times as that mercy had a limit I had crossed. I was afraid to even whisper your name, 'cause I was sure that I was lost. I've been running from the church for 3 years now. Made some choices that I can't erase. Told myself I'd gone too far to turn around, that you'd never want to see my face. So I built a life on back roads and bad decisions, kept the lights off so nobody'd see. Wore my shame like a jacket in the summer, let it suffocate the best parts of me. One more lie believing I'm too broken, one more lie that says I've gone too far. But I'm reaching in the dark. I'm not too far gone, not too lost for grace to find me where I am. Not too far gone, you're still reaching now with open hands. Come home, you've been waiting all along. I'm not too far gone, not too far gone. I drove past the church last Sunday morning, saw the lights on through the stained glass windows. Almost pulled in, but the fear stopped me cold. 'Cause I don't know if they remember who I was before. Then I heard you whisper through the static on a song playing on the radio. Said, child, I don't care about your past, I just want you to come back home. One more moment at the crossroads, one more chance to let your love win. I'm coming, let me in. I'm not too far gone, not too lost for grace to find me where I am. Not too far gone, you're still reaching now with open hands. Come home, you've been waiting all along. I'm not too far gone, not too far gone. I thought redemption was for everybody else. Not too far gone. I thought your grace had terms and conditions. I thought the prodigal son was just a story, not an invitation. But you never stopped watching the horizon, you never stopped calling my name. Your love doesn't have a point of no return, and your mercy never walked away. I'm not too far gone, not too lost for grace to find me where I am. Not too far gone, you're still reaching out with open hands. Come home, you've been waiting all along. I'm not too far gone, not too far gone. Yeah, come home. The door's been open all along. I'm not too far gone, I was never too far gone, never too far gone, never too far gone. I've been holding it together in the daylight, smiling through the cracks nobody sees. I thought I was alone in all this hurting, but he's been watching over me. I wake up every morning, put my makeup on, walk out the door like everything's alright. Answer, I'm fine 100 times a day, while I'm breaking down inside every night. There's a pain I carry that I don't talk about, a weight that lives beneath my Sunday best, the kind of lonely that exists in crowded rooms, the kind of tired that sleep can't fix or rest. One more day of hiding what I feel, one more night wondering if it's real. This ache that nobody else can see, but he sees the tears, the ones I cry at 3 a.m. when no one's there. He sees the tears, the ones I wipe away before I say a prayer. He knows every hurt I try to hide. He sees the tears, he sees the tears I cry. I stood in the church lobby after service, shook hands and said the things you're supposed to say, but inside I was screaming for somebody to notice that I'm barely making it from day to day. Then I drove home down that old dirt road in silence, pulled over where the street lights fade to black, and I finally let it out, every broken piece, and felt your presence like you've been waiting for me to crack. One more moment I can't pretend, one more breaking point I've reached again, but you're here, you've been here all along. 'Cause you see the tears, the ones I cry at 3 a.m. when no one's there. You see the tears, the ones I wipe away before I say a prayer. You know every hurt I try to hide. You see the tears, you see the tears I cry. I thought I had to be strong for everyone, I thought weakness was something to be ashamed of. I thought if I let them see me fall apart, they see me as less than what I'm made of. But you collect every tear I've ever cried, you bottle up every broken prayer. You see the parts of me I keep in shadow, and you meet me in my deepest despair. Yes, you see the tears, the ones I cry at 3 a.m. when no one's there. You see the tears, the ones I wipe away before I say a prayer. You know every hurt I try to hide. You see the tears, you see the tears I cry. Yeah, you know when I'm breaking deep inside. You see the tears, you've always seen the tears, every tear I've ever cried. I've been trying, I hold it all together, like I'm strong enough to bear the weight. I didn't know I could lay it down until I couldn't carry one more day. There's a heaviness I wake up with every morning, like a stone tied to my chest I can't untie. I smile and say I'm fine when people ask me, but the truth is I'm just barely getting by. I'm carrying my mama's diagnosis, my daughter's broken heart, my own regret, the bills, the fear, the what ifs and the maybes, and 1,000 things I can't forget. One more load I wasn't meant to hold, one more weight that's crushing down my soul. I need you to take control. He carries what I can when my shoulders give out and my knees hit the ground. He carries what I can, takes the burden I've been dragging around. Let go, put it in his hands. He carries what I can, and he carries what I can. I drove out to that old dirt road last Thursday, where the county line meets nothing but the sky. Pulled over, turned the engine off and sat there. Finally let myself fall apart and cry. I said, Jesus, I don't know how to do this. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. I've been white-knuckling my way through every sunrise, but I can't do one more day this way. One more night I can't carry alone, one more fear I can't control. I need you to make me whole. He carries what I can when my shoulders give out and my knees hit the ground. He carries what I can, takes the burden I've been dragging around. Let go, put it in his hands. He carries what I can, oh, he carries what I can. I thought strength meant never asking for help. I thought faith meant I should figure it out. I thought surrender was the same as giving up. I thought depending on him and I was weak somehow, right? He's been waiting for me to stop fighting, waiting for me to fall into his grace. His shoulders are stronger than I ever imagined, and he's been ready to carry it all away. He carries what I can when my shoulders give out and my knees hit the ground. He carries what I can, takes the burden I've been dragging around. Let go, put it in his hands. He carries what I can, he carries what I can. Carries what I can. Let go. This was never mine to bear alone. He carries what I can. He's been carrying it all along. He carries what I can. I thought faith was just a feeling in a sanctuary, all dressed up with nowhere else to go. I didn't know you'd meet me in the middle of the hardest week I've ever known. Monday morning hit me like a freight train. Boss called me in, said they're letting people go. I sat there in the parking lot just frozen, wondering how I'm gonna make it on my own. Sunday clothes still hanging in the closet. Had that worship song still ringing in my head. But the real world was crashing down around me, and I needed more than what the preacher said. One more bill I can't afford to pay, one more fear that won't go away. I need you right here in the everyday. This is more than Sunday, more than stained glass and a choir singing hymns. More than Sunday, you're the God who shows up when the lights get dim. Right here, right now, in the mess and the mundane. This is more than Sunday. You're more than Sunday. Tuesday night, I'm crying in the kitchen. Kids are asking questions I don't know how to answer right. Wednesday, I'm just trying to keep it together. Thursday, I'm on my knees in the middle of the night. But you're in the bill spread out across the table. You're in the strength to face another day. You're in the friend who brought groceries on Friday. You're in the sunrise saying I'm making a way. One more moment I can't do alone, one more reason I'm calling you home. I need you in every high and low. This is more than Sunday, more than stained glass and a choir singing hymns. More than Sunday, you're the God who shows up when the lights get dim. Right here, right now, in the mess and the mundane. This is more than Sunday. You're more than Sunday. I used to think you lived inside a building. I used to think faith was just an hour a week. I used to save my prayers for when I had it all together, when I looked the part and didn't look weak. But you're not impressed by my performance. You don't need my life to be Instagram clean. You show up in the chaos and the ordinary, in the real life moments in between. This is more than Sunday, more than stained glass and a choir singing hymns. More than Sunday, you're the God who shows up when the lights get dim. Right here, right now, in the mess and the mundane. This is more than Sunday. Yeah, right here, right now, in the struggle and the strain. This is more than Sunday. You're with me every day. More than Sunday. I thought I'd walk too far this time. Thought I finally crossed the line. I was afraid to turn around and see if you were still behind me. I made a choice I can't take back last summer. Said some things I wish I'd never said. Left a trail of broken promises and people, and a faith I thought was good is dead. I stood under the streetlight crying at 2 a.m., wondering how many chances does grace serve. expected disappointed silence, but you were standing on the front porch waiting for me now. One more failure I can't undo, one more reason I'm not worthy of you, but you're here, you're still here, like you always knew. You're still walking with me through the shame and the wreckage I made, still walking with me even when I ran the other way. You stayed when anyone else would leave. You're still walking with me, still walking with me. There's a worn out Bible on my nightstand with pages marked from better days gone by. I picked it up this morning, hands still trembling, half expecting all the words to call me a lie. But I found grace on every page I opened, found your love in every line I read, like you were sitting right there in the sunrise, saying, child, I'm not finished with you yet. One more morning I don't deserve, one more mercy I haven't earned, but you're here, you're still here, teaching me what faithful love really means. You're still walking with me through the shame and the wreckage I made, still walking with me even when I ran the other way. You stayed when anyone else would leave. You're still walking with me. I thought my mistakes would be the end, I thought I lost the right to call you friend, I thought the distance was too far to come back from. I thought I'd finally proved your love could be undone, but you don't measure grace by what I've broken. You don't count my failures on your hands. You just keep showing up in every sunrise, like you're saying, let me love you where you stand. You're still walking with me through the shame and the wreckage I made, still walking with me even when I ran the other way. You stayed when anyone else would leave. You're still walking with me. Yeah, you stayed. Your faithfulness is all I need. You're still walking with me. You never stop walking with me. I've been wearing all my failures like a name tag, letting shame decide who I'm supposed to be. I thought my worth was just the sum of my mistakes, until you showed me what you see. I grew up thinking I had to earn my value, that love was something I had to deserve. So I worked myself to death trying to be perfect, thinking maybe then I'd finally be enough. I counted up my sins like they were tally marks against a record I could never overcome. Stood in front of the mirror, hating what I saw there, wondering if redemption was for everyone but me. One more way I let myself down, one more reason I'm not worth being found, but you see me past the walls I built around. I am known and loved, not for what I've done, but for whose I am. Known and loved, he wrote my name across his open hands. I'm his, not defined by where I've been. I am known and loved. There's a worn out Bible
more day I'm learning what is true love. You see me, and you call it beautiful. I am known and loved, not for what I've done, but for whose I am. Known and loved, he wrote my name across his open hands. I'm his, not defined by where I've been. I am known and loved, known and loved. I thought my past would be my prison, I thought my scars would be my shame. I thought I had to hide the broken pieces to ever hear you speak my name. But you see every fracture, fragile part of me, and you don't flinch, you don't turn away. You call me chosen, holy, blameless, worthy. My identity is what you say. I am known and loved, not for what I've done, but for whose I am. Known and loved, he wrote my name across his open hands. I'm his, not defined by where I've been. I am known and loved, known and loved. Yeah, I'm his, not my failures, not my sin. I am known and loved, I've always been known and loved, forever known and loved, forever known and loved. I thought I had to find you somewhere else, somewhere bigger than these two-lane roads. I didn't know you'd meet me right here, where the streetlights barely glow. I grew up thinking heaven had a highway, that you only showed up in stained glass and stone. That the closer I got to the city skyline, the closer I'd get to your throne. But I found you in the diner on a Tuesday, in the kindness of a stranger paying my bill, in the sunset painting fire on the water tower, in the silence on this ordinary hill. I've been looking for a miracle, been waiting for some sign from above, but you're already here, you're already here. Jesus, in my small town, in the grocery store aisle, in the laundromat spin. Jesus, in my small town, in the front porch prayers and the worn out hymn. Right here, you don't need a stage or a crown. I found Jesus in my small town, Jesus in my small town. I was standing in the kitchen, dishes in the sink, kids screaming, barely holding it together. Felt too ordinary to be holy ground, just trying to survive the daily weather. Then I saw you and my neighbor bringing over dinner, and my daughter's laugh that sounds like grace. In the way the morning light comes through my window, like you're reminding me you know this place. I don't need a sanctuary built of marble, don't need a driving out to feel your love, 'cause you're already here, you're already here. Jesus, in my small town, in the grocery store aisle, in the laundromat spin. Jesus, in my small town, in the front porch prayers and the worn out hymn. Right here, you don't need a stage or a crown. I found Jesus in my small town, Jesus in my small town, Jesus in my small town. I thought small men forgotten, I thought simple men unseen. I thought you only moved in stadiums and spoke through silver screens. But you're in the quiet faithful, you're in the everyday divine. You're in the dirt road dust and diner coffee. You've been in this small town all the time. Jesus, in my small town, in the grocery store aisle, in the laundromat spin. Jesus, in my small town, in the front porch prayers and the worn out hymn. Right here, you don't need a stage or a crown. I found is my small town. I've been trying to figure it all out, map the road before I take a step. I thought faith meant having all the answers, until I learned to trust instead. I watched my daughter jump into the pool last summer. Never questioned if I'd catch her when she fell. She just laughed and threw her arms up in the air, 'cause in her world I always would be there. And something in that moment broke me open, made me see how far I drifted from that place, where love means letting go of understanding, and trust is just another word for grace. One more question I don't need to know, one more plan I need to let go. I'm learning to just believe. Faith like a child, simple and sure, no doubts in the way. Faith like a child, not needing to see every step that I take. Let go, stop trying to understand it all. Faith like a child, faith like a child. I've been holding on to worry like a blueprint, trying to control what I was never meant to hold, asking why and when and how 1,000 times, instead of trusting you already know. But you're teaching me in ordinary moments, in the sunrise that I didn't have to earn, in the way my heart keeps beating while I'm sleeping, in a love I didn't have to work to learn. One more fear I can't release, one more burden at your feet. I'm trusting like I used to believe. Faith like a child, simple and sure, no doubts in the way. Faith like a child, not needing to see every step that I take. Let go, stop trying to understand it all. Faith like a child, faith like a child. I thought maturity meant having all the answers. I thought wisdom was a map to follow through. I thought faith was something I could figure out if I just studied hard enough and knew. But you're calling me back to the beginning, to the wonder that I lost along the way, where I don't need to know the ending of the story. I just need to know you'll never walk away. Faith like a child, simple and sure, no doubts in the way. Faith like a child, not needing to see every step that I take. Let go, stop trying to understand it all. Faith like a child, faith like a child. Yeah, let go, just run into your open arms and fall. Faith like a child.
watched a lot of people walk away. I learned not to hold too tight to anything. I thought love was just a season, until I met the God who stays. My daddy left when I was only 7. Mama worked 3 jobs to keep the lights on. I learned to lock my heart up like a front door, and never let nobody see what's going on. I built my walls with every goodbye whisper, made peace with being on my own. Then one night on a dirt road outside of nowhere, Jesus met me and he wouldn't let me go. One more loss I couldn't take, one more heart I watched break, but you're here, you're still here. You don't leave, you don't leave. You're the God who stays when the world walks out and slams the door. The God who stays when I got nothing left worth staying for. You don't run through the mess I've made. You're the God who stays, the God who stays. I told you every ugly truth I carry, every secret shame I kept inside. Waited for the moment you'd get tired, for that look that says this is goodbye. But you just pulled me closer in the silence, like you've been waiting all along to love the parts of me I thought were too broken, to prove that staying's where you still belong. One more test of